Every sales leader wants to coach their team, but the truth is most of us haven't earned the right to coach the person. If you want the power to transform your people, you have to get permission first. When people believe that you're the one who can help them achieve their goals, then again, you earn the right to coach them at that moment. And power is good or bad, right? It could be like positive light force power, or it could be negative dark force power. Everything out of your mouth creates fear of freedom for yourself or others. Are you saying things to them that's making them feel big, or it's making them feel small? Like, that's the game. Here's the thing, is that every sales leader wants to coach their team, but the truth is most of us haven't earned the right to coach the person until today. So today what I'm going to show you exactly how to gain what I call as position of strength when you are in that leadership position. Position of strength is the most important thing you could ever have when it comes to being a leader, when it comes to selling, when it comes to persuading. You have to have position of strength. So what is position of strength? It basically just means that the person that you are communicating with, so again, if you're in sales, you're in leadership, you're a parent, you're a friend, whatever it is, that person across from you, they see you as the only person that can help them at that moment, right? Like they surrender to your expertise, they surrender to your facilitation, they surrender to your guidance. And so you have to get that position of strength. You can't get it, by the way, through title. So that's the mistake we all make, right? The mistake we make is that, hey, I'm your boss, and so listen to me right now. Like, so you can't earn it through title. You have to earn it kind of around the back door, right? You have to kind of be more sneaky about it. And so I'm going to show you how to get that position of strength, so that again, your salespeople or any person you're communicating with, again, they immediately kind of surrender to your leadership and your guidance, your facilitation, so that you can obviously help them get what they want. Remember, that's the whole idea, is that if we help enough people get what they want, we can get what we want. If we help enough people get freedom, or in your case, you're helping your salespeople get sales freedom, then obviously you'll get freedom yourself and freedom from the stress of making your numbers and building this great company you're trying to build. So that's the idea. So again, if you want the power to transform your people, you have to get permission first. I know that sounds kind of weird and weak, but people just, they won't listen to you until you get permission. And the fastest and most effective way to earn that permission is by helping them define their one big thing. And the reason for this is because when people believe that you're the one who can help them achieve their goals, then again, you earn the right to coach them at that moment. Doesn't mean you'll have it forever, but at least at that moment, they will go, okay, I can take a deep breath, and I'm handing the baton over to you as my coach at this moment, and that's the goal. So I remember when I first started being a sales manager, I had a salesperson who would constantly blow me off, right? I'm sure you guys have ever had that before, where you had this person, and maybe it was a veteran, maybe it was someone who, just was on your team, they just didn't really give you the time of day, right? And so he would show up to my management sessions or my one-on-one sessions with him, and his arms were crossed, he wasn't open. And so then I asked him one day, just kind of out of the gate, right? Like I didn't really know what to do, but I knew that I needed to help this person become successful. And so I asked him out of the gate, I just said, hey, I'm curious, what do you want to achieve by the end of the year? Like what do you want to achieve by the end of the year? So prior to that, I wasn't asking that question, guys. So what do you think I was asking prior to that question? So all of a sudden that day I had this epiphany, and I started asking, what do you want to achieve by the end of this year? And he immediately said, I want to be number one, so I can do this, this, and this. But prior to that, I wasn't asking that question. What kind of question do you think I was asking prior to that was causing resistance and causing arms crossed and causing, what's the normal management question that we ask, and we've been told to ask by our bosses, by generation to generation to generation, passed down? That's it, Peter, you got it, right? So it's, how many sales are you gonna bring me this week, right? My boss is asking how many sales you're gonna bring me, and so I gotta ask you the question, and of course they just make this number up, and it's all crap anyway, right? So that's all I was asking. How many sales are you gonna make me? How can I help you make those sales? Here's how you can help me. You can make the circumstances easier, make the situation easier. I need better price, better marketing, better this, better that, right? And so that never got me anywhere, and I felt very underutilized. And so again, I just shifted the question, and all of a sudden the whole thing changed. And instead of me asking him a question about something that would benefit me, right? So how many sales can you bring me? Benefits me. But all of a sudden I shifted the question to, hey, what do you want to achieve by the end of this year, or by the end of this quarter, or by the end of this month? Like, what's your goal? right? And all of a sudden, so he told me, he said, I want to be the number one salesperson so I can propose to my girlfriend with confidence. And I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool, So like, let's talk about that. And it just like the whole trajectory shifted from like, I need a number for you. I need a number from you that I can go tell corporate, to forget corporate for a second. Tell me what you want. And if I can help you get what you want, then obviously I'll get what I want. And power is good or bad, right? It could be like positive, positive light force power, or it could be negative dark force powers. But as soon as you verbalize it, it becomes very powerful. And so going into this hike, just so you guys know, I have extreme, really bad plantar fasciitis in my left foot. I've done prolotherapy, I've done shockwave therapy, I've done PT every single week. I have orthotics, I've done all kinds of stuff trying to get this thing to fix. And it's not. And so anytime I do any kind of hiking, it flares up. And so I'm literally just training 24/7 on the stepper, the Stairmaster thing. So like this morning I was on that stupid thing, right? I hate this thing more than anything else in the world, but I'm on it literally, like this past weekend I was on it for 8 hours. This weekend I'll be on it for 8 hours. And so I'll do about 1,000 floors this weekend. I'm only doing that because it doesn't flare up my foot. And so one of my other hikers that's coming with me, endurance guys, he said, are you gonna be able to even do this? He said, you're going to die on the mountain. Your foot's going to be in so much pain. And I said, it probably will be, but no one's going to know about it, and you're not going to ask me about it. Okay, so I'm going to take a lot of Tylenol, and it's going to be miserable. And for 36 hours, there'll be an incredible amount of pain, and it'll be in a lot of pain after that. But you're not going to if you ever ask me about my foot, I'm going to tell you it feels great. And you're never going to hear me talk about it. Because everything out of your mouth creates fear of freedom for yourself or others, right? Super important. So I just want you guys to see that because gosh, what a great lesson for you to be thinking about. Like when you are working with your people, are you saying things to them that's making them feel big, or it's making them feel small? Like that's the game. And so whenever I'm selling to anyone, I want to be careful about how much resistance I'm putting in them, because when I'm asking them to make a big decision on something, I need them to have all of the energy to be able to do that. The frame is super important in anything. So frame is just again, just very, very good basic influence. And so you always want to just set the conversation as far as what we're going to cover today and what it's all about and how it's going to benefit you. And so you can see there in the handout, it's, hey Vince, I want to help you become the best version of yourself, but I can't do that unless I know what matters to you most. Can we take 30 minutes to align on your biggest goal? So just some sort of introduction so they understand what's really happening and what the purpose of. Always make sure that you're always doing that with any conversation. And then on step 2, of course, it's about going through those 4 questions. And again, feel free to have fun with it. So if you look at, for example, the second question, why is that important to you? The thing that I will encourage you guys all to notice is that sometimes a why question is hard for people to answer. So because we've been kind of programmed in life that when I ask someone like a why, they sometimes get a little bit defensive because we've been kind of programmed over and over again that too many why questions is difficult. So you'll notice that if I ask you a why question and it creates resistance in you, then I'll change it to a what and how question. Okay, so I might say like, so I'm curious, like if you were to achieve blank goal, like tell me about why that's important to you. And you're like, well, I'm not, and I'm like, oh, what I mean is like, what will that do for you specifically? Or how will that benefit your family? Or how will that benefit your future? Or how will that, like, what would that mean to you to be able to do that? So you notice that I'm still figuring out the why, but I'm not asking a why. I'm asking a what or a how. So it's just make sure you guys understand. Don't focus so much on like the letter of the law in the sense of like, why is that important to you? It's more about figuring out why it's important to them. But sometimes ask a question like, why is that important to you? And people don't like that question. So instead, it's like, what would it mean for you to achieve blank? How would that help you personally? Or how would that impact your company? Or how would that impact your family? Or how would that impact your kids? Or, if you were to be able to, save for a home, then what exactly would that look like? And what would that mean for you to have the money to save for a home? So just kind of keep that in mind on number 2 is that when I say, why is that important to you? If they don't like the question why, I mean, if they create resistance of, let me think about that, I'm not sure, then you just need to make sure you ask a what and how question that will be more specific to that.